great to have you with us. And again, we're going to talk to our title sponsor today, Athletic Orthopedics and Knee Center. On my left is Dr. Mark Geyer and Dr. Jack Jensen on my right. Maybe a time for me to get some free medical advice, but certainly these guys have a lot of wisdom to discuss. And I'm going to start first with you, Dr. Geyer, because in this day and age, in this community, with the weather and the year-round sports, it's amazing, whether it's high school, youth sports, so many activities. It's nonstop, and I would imagine it keeps you guys very busy from beginning to end over January through December.
Yeah, it's great for business. There's a lot that goes on here in Houston. I mean, you've got softball leagues, you've got football leagues, you even have the hockey leagues now playing in the malls. Kids going 24/7 with sports. So we enjoy taking care of all these athletes. It's a fun thing to do. It's fun to get people back on the field, get those reports of setting records and doing fun things and getting back doing what they love to do.
If people are out there watching right now, injury prevention, of course, is so very important. Are there one or two tips that you might have towards parents or athletes that come to your mind first and foremost so they don't always have to visit you quite as often?
Understand. One of the biggest things we see are kids are involved in sports year-round now. I think one of the biggest keys things kids and parents can look at is rest. If just building in periods of rest, if you look like at a professional baseball player, most of those guys, they don't throw a baseball from October to maybe January. And so just building in some rest, varying up your training, stretching, staying hydrated, all of those things are real simple, straightforward, but they can help prevent a lot of injuries.
It's amazing. I was having that conversation with my 11-year-old pitcher just the other day about the need for rest over the course of a season. But let's also talk about community education, because what you guys do is very important, to go into the schools, to talk with these athletes and explain to them the benefit of sports and, of course, what you guys do as well.
Yeah, that's an area that we've really enjoyed. We started a foundation years ago, and our foundation now has probably done over 10,000 low-cost physicals for kids, and really quality participation physicals. And then when we do their physicals, many times they'll donate sports equipment, or we'll do sports equipment and give it to some needy areas. And then we provide trainers for the middle schools and different schools that don't have a trainer, talk to the parent groups about injury prevention. 60 to 70% of injuries are training related, the wrong type of training, too much, like Dr. Geyer was saying. So that's been really fun, and we've really made a difference. We had one kid last year that we do healthcare scholarships, because we have a emergency room and a surgery center, essentially everything there at AOK Medical Center, and he didn't have any insurance even though he was playing for a school. So we got to take care of him, and he went on and got a college scholarship. So that's what it feels like, that you really help someone.
Well, it certainly sounds very rewarding, and it sounds like a win-win with those physicals as well, because the low-cost physicals able to see a large number of athletes and then provide a lot of sporting equipment as well.
Yes, and we pick things up on those physicals. I mean, kids have problems. It's a random population out there that's coming in, and many times they haven't had a good physical, from high blood pressure to diabetes to different things. And now, which Dr. Geyer will talk about also, is the concussions and making sure that we understand what their mental state is prior to participation.
Absolutely. Concussion is certainly a big issue, and I want to talk about that a little bit later on. But Dr. Geyer, let's talk about follow-up care too, because it's one thing to maybe identify a problem, the physicals pick up an issue, but it's probably a process too when they come in to see you, where they may have to come back a couple of times in order to get healthy and ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow-up care is a huge component of what we do. I mean, it is not a cold where you come and get an antibiotic and go on your way. These are injuries that require, particularly maybe an intervention such as surgery, an injection, some medicine, some physical therapy. These are ongoing problems that require maintenance and follow-up. What we've done at AOK is really set up this team model where we can communicate with athletic trainers out in the community. We have our own athletic trainers that can speak those languages, talk with athletic trainers at schools, communicate, and therefore keep this as a seamless process. If you look at the process at, like, say, the pro or the college level, all that works very seamlessly. And what we want to do is take that model, translate that into the community field for a high school team such as Stratford. And that works really, really well. It smooths it out for the parents. It communicates the messages really well. And we can do things a lot faster, get messages communicated a lot faster, just because we've got that model in place. And that's what we've really worked hard to do. We do a great job at doing that.
Again, we're talking with Dr. Geyer and Dr. Jensen here at the half part of the Athletic Orthopedics and Knee Center. Our title sponsor of today's broadcast, and Dr. Jensen, I want to talk to you about the Orthopedics Research Foundation.
Well, in our foundation, we started a few years ago with essentially the essence of two things: community education, we talked about, and actually doing research. So we publish research, and this is very important. We see so many kids, we're kind of on the ground level. So clinical research of seeing what's going on, from stimulating bones to get them to heal, We're doing research now looking into stem cells and different types of things that help with people. Published quite a few articles. So that's kind of the academic side of it. But then we also help teach some of the student athletic trainers and the people that are in the health occupation classes to come in. So we've been really excited about our foundation, what it's been able to do.
Well, it's certainly exciting. And as Dr. Geyer mentioned, it's year-round right now, but I would imagine part of what you guys do in that process is always trying to stay ahead of the curve. Athletes are getting bigger, faster, stronger. That creates new issues and problems, and you guys are trying to combat that as best you can.
That's a really good point. I mean, we've all played sports, but it's a different game out there now. They are so much bigger, and their training, they scientifically know how to do that training, and these kids come in, they're just bigger and faster. All the games are played at a higher level, but unfortunately, which comes along with that is higher velocity and injuries from that. So the injury prevention is so important, but there's a point there where if you're just big and fast, you've got two big collisions going on, and how well we can get them back safely when they do get hurt.
It's amazing. You watch these high school games, and now that we get to this level, when you have so many talented players and talented teams, the size of these kids, almost what it was like probably in college 10 or 12 years ago. I mean, these kids are working out year-round, and obviously that then creates those issues with collisions and contact and everything that comes with that size and strength.
Well, and you get in high school, you get a disparity. We remember here, Stratford here, a couple of years ago, there was a kid named Andrew Luck, as we know, came down here, and I saw him run over a 150-pound defensive back like it wasn't there. So you get this disparity in size and talent, too, in high school that you don't necessarily get in college.
Well, Dr. Geyer, I want to talk to you about concussions as well. You guys have 24-hour care, and I got to believe part of that might be athletes that have concussion issues and need to see you. And certainly that's a topic, whether it's high school, college, or the NFL, that is number one in a lot of people's minds, and certainly parents' minds.
Absolutely. We're orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine by training, and in that realm falls concussion. We take care of athletes on a daily basis. And so this has become a huge topic. It's everywhere. Every month or so you're seeing a story on ESPN or another news source that has really a devastating story about a concussion in a kid, particularly high school kids. Those are rare and few and far between, thankfully, but at the same time we take this very seriously. With our same model that I talked about a few minutes ago, we're able to get kids in very quickly, get them seen, get them taken care of, and get them back as fast and safely as possible. There's guidelines set in place. The state has passed laws in regards to how the high school kids can be managed and stuff like that. But if we can get them on the track, get them going, we can get them back on the field as fast as we can. We offer a lot of things at our clinic. One is the communication between trainers, but also we're offering testing. We can do baseline testing prior to the season, so we can establish numbers that are pre-injury, pre-season, and then we can compare those to a post-injury state. We can follow that along. We've got folks in place that can do that for us with the computers in place, the testing, all that we can do, and then just honestly the communication with the parents. Reassurance is almost the best medicine with the concussion management. And when I can sit down with parents, explain to them what's going on, I use the metaphor of an ankle sprain a lot. It's just rest, and we just get it better, and we can get those kids back. Some of those kids are in La La Land. I'm treating one right now. I've seen him a couple weeks in a row here, but progressively he's getting better, and we're going to follow it along, and we're going to make sure he's safe. We're going to get him on the return to play protocol, which is the big key to this, and then get him going again.
Well, Dr. Geyer and Dr. Jensen, certainly thank you for being our title sponsor tonight. But as a parent of an 11-year-old, 12-year-old athlete, and a 7-year-old, thank you for what you do in this community, because I know you guys played an important role.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Here at the half again, Athletic Orthopedics and Knee Center, our title sponsor. I'd like to thank Dr. Geyer and Dr. Jensen. We'll come back with more at the half.